There's a kind of loneliness that's hard to explain. It's not the kind that comes from being alone in a room. It's the kind that comes from being in the same house with someone you love and still feeling unseen. It's sitting across the dinner table, saying all the right words but feeling like you're miles apart. It's lying next to your spouse at night, feeling the warmth of their body but not their presence. If you've ever felt that, if you've ever wondered how you can be married and still feel lonely, this message is for you. And let me begin by saying this: you are not broken, and your marriage is not beyond repair. Loneliness in marriage isn't always a sign that love is gone. Often it's a quiet cry for connection, a gentle reminder that love needs tending. Just like a garden, even the most beautiful relationship can begin to wilt if it's not cared for. But that doesn't mean it can't bloom again. In this message, I want to offer you something gentle, something real. 5 truths that might help you take one small step toward closeness again. No pressure, no grand gestures, just honest, healing reflections that remind you you're not alone and it's not too late to reconnect. So if you've ever felt lonely in your marriage, not always, not constantly, but even just once, in a moment that still lingers in your heart, stay with me. Let's walk through this together. Loneliness isn't a failure. It's a signal. Sometimes when you feel lonely in your marriage, the first thought that creeps in is, maybe we're not meant for each other, or maybe I married the wrong person. But what if that loneliness isn't a verdict? What if it's just a signal, like a dashboard light blinking, not to say the car is broken, but that it needs care? Loneliness doesn't always mean love has disappeared. It often means love has gone quiet, not absent, just unheard. Imagine a couple standing in the same kitchen, making coffee side by side, doing dishes, picking up after the kids, passing each other like ghosts. Nothing is wrong on the surface, but deep inside, there's a craving for eye contact, a touch on the back, a laugh shared over nothing. That craving, that emptiness, is not failure. It's a signal, a message saying, I miss being seen. I miss being felt. I miss being us. Think about your phone. When the battery gets low, you don't blame the phone for being weak. You just plug it in. The same is true for your relationship. Feeling disconnected doesn't mean your marriage is over. It means it's time to recharge. The problem is, many of us were never taught that marriage requires small daily recharges. We assume if love is real, it should always run strong. But no machine runs forever without maintenance. And love, even the deepest kind, needs checking in. Loneliness can feel like a heavy fog, but it's really an invitation. An invitation to pause and notice what's missing and what could still be found. Instead of seeing it as a sign to give up, see it as a sign to reach out. Maybe not with words just yet, but with presence. Maybe you don't have the perfect sentence for how you feel, but you can start with a question. Are we okay? Or a statement like, I miss you even when we're together. These aren't accusations, they're open doors. And more often than not, your partner may have been feeling the same way, quietly hoping you'd notice. You are not the only one who has ever felt lonely in marriage. Even the happiest couples have seasons where closeness slips quietly out the back door. What matters is noticing it, honoring it, and gently inviting connection back in. So if you felt that ache, the one that whispers, I miss us, even while you're sitting side by side, pause and listen. That ache is your soul telling you it's time to reconnect, not because you failed, but because love always needs renewal. And that's not weakness. That's wisdom. You don't have to fix everything overnight. You don't even have to have a big talk right away. Just start with a moment of truth, even if it's just with yourself. I feel lonely sometimes, and that matters. From there, you can begin again. Not from scratch, but from sincerity. Talk less about problems. Share more about feelings. When couples sit down to talk, the conversation often revolves around logistics, bills, schedules, kids, to-do lists, what's for dinner, or why the trash wasn't taken out. It's not that these conversations aren't necessary, they are, but they rarely bring emotional closeness. You can share a household, a calendar, and a bank account, and still not feel emotionally seen. That's because true connection doesn't live in the realm of solving problems. It lives in the realm of shared feelings. And yet, feelings are often the thing we speak the least about in marriage. Why? Because they're vulnerable. Because they're soft. Because they reveal that beneath the structure of daily life, there is a soul that still wants to be known. Think about the last time you felt truly connected to your partner. It probably wasn't after dividing the chores or adjusting the monthly budget. It was likely in a moment when one of you opened up, even just a little. When someone said, "I'm feeling overwhelmed lately," or "I miss how we used to laugh in the car," or even just, "Can I have a hug?" These small emotional offerings are what make a relationship feel alive. You don't need a candlelit dinner to feel intimacy. You need truth, spoken gently. Many people avoid emotional sharing because they're afraid it will lead to conflict. If I say I feel lonely, will they take it as an insult? But sharing your feelings is not the same as assigning blame. Saying I feel disconnected is different from saying you're never there for me. The first invites understanding. The second invites defensiveness. One opens a door, the other closes it. Try starting with curiosity, not criticism. Ask your partner, "How have you been feeling about us lately?" Or say, "I've been thinking about how much I miss being close." Can we talk about that? It doesn't have to be dramatic. It doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to be real. And the more often you do this, even in small ways, the more normal it becomes. Emotional safety in a relationship is built slowly, one conversation at a time. And here's the truth. Most of us just want to be known. We want to be asked, "How are you really?" We want to feel that even in the busyness, someone is still reaching for our heart. You don't have to solve everything to feel close again. You just have to create space for the truth to show up. And when it does, even quietly, even awkwardly, it changes everything. Because when feelings are shared, loneliness fades. You don't have to be perfect at expressing yourself. You just have to be present enough to try. That's how you rebuild the invisible bridge that brought you together in the first place. Not through perfection, through presence. Small acts rebuild big love. In a world that glorifies big declarations of love, surprise trips, grand apologies, dramatic transformations, it's easy to forget the quiet power of small things. But in marriage, the small things are not small at all. They are the threads that hold everything together. A gentle hand on the back while passing in the kitchen. A cup of coffee made the way your partner likes it. A quick glance across the room that says, "I see you." These moments don't make headlines, but they make marriages. And when you're feeling lonely, these small acts of love become even more vital. because they remind you that you still matter, even if words are hard to come by. When we feel disconnected, we often think the solution has to be big. A fancy date night, a weekend getaway, maybe even couples therapy. And while all of those things can help, they are not always available, especially in the middle of a busy life. But what is always available are choices, daily choices to turn towards your partner instead of away. You don't need a script or a plan, you just need intention. Leave a sticky note with something kind on the bathroom mirror. Send a photo from a memory you both love. Sit down beside them during a show they like, even if it's not your favorite. These actions are not dramatic, but they're deeply human. They say, I still care. I still choose you. And here's something powerful. Consistency beats intensity. A giant gesture once a year can't replace quiet kindness every day. Think of love like a savings account. Every small deposit matters, and over time, those little deposits become the emotional wealth you both rely on during hard times. If you want to rebuild love, start with one act today, one gesture, one word, one moment of patience. And then tomorrow, do it again. Love grows not through volume, but through repetition. You may be surprised how quickly your partner softens when they feel seen. It's not about perfection, it's about showing up. Not with a solution, but with sincerity. You don't have to fix all the distance at once. Just shorten it by one small gesture at a time. Loneliness often fades not with one big I love you, but with dozens of little I'm here. So if you're feeling disconnected today, don't wait for the perfect moment. Create the moment. Give a smile when you pass each other in the hallway. Ask if they want a snack when you make your own. Sit closer on the couch. These aren't just habits, they're healing rituals. And over time, they do more than restore connection. They rebuild trust, safety, and affection, the very things that loneliness erodes. Big love is built with small bricks, one thoughtful act at a time. Turn toward, not away. In every marriage, there are moments of quiet pain when you feel misunderstood, neglected, or emotionally distant. And in those moments, it's natural to want to shut down, to pull away, to turn inward, to say less and feel more. Alone. We often think we're protecting ourselves when we build walls, but in reality, we're just extending the space between two people who already miss each other. Emotional distance doesn't always begin with a fight. Sometimes it begins with a silence that grows each time we choose not to speak honestly, each time we feel something and say nothing, each time we ache but hide it behind a smile. Loneliness thrives in avoidance. It feeds on the moments when we choose our phones instead of our partner's eyes, when we walk past each other like strangers in the hallway, when we stop asking, "How are you, really?" The truth is, when you feel disconnected, the bravest thing you can do is to turn toward your spouse, even if just slightly. That turn can be a sentence, a touch, a simple look that says, "I still want us." It doesn't have to be dramatic. You don't have to pour out every emotion all at once. Turning toward can mean sitting down beside them during a quiet evening. It can mean asking, "Do you have a few minutes to talk?" Or gently saying, "I've been feeling distant lately. Can we check in?" Vulnerability isn't weakness, it's an invitation, and most people are longing to be invited back into emotional closeness. The trouble is, we're all waiting for the other person to make the first move, but someone has to go first. Someone has to say, "I miss you," even if it feels scary. Turning away feels safer in the moment, but it slowly teaches your marriage to survive without intimacy. Turning toward, even awkwardly or imperfectly, is what breathes life back into a relationship that's gasping for connection. It says, I still believe in us. And sometimes, that's all it takes to begin a shift. If your spouse doesn't respond right away, don't panic. Sometimes people need time. Sometimes they've been guarding their own heart too. Keep showing up in small ways. Keep turning toward, not away. Love is built on these turns, on the choice to face the discomfort, rather than flee from it. You don't have to have the perfect words. You just need a willing heart. A heart that says, we may have drifted, but I want to find our way back. That kind of courage is what melts the coldness. That kind of presence is what ends the silence. And when both people begin to turn toward each other again, even just a little, loneliness has no place to grow. Love is a daily choice, not a one-time feeling. We often think of love as something magical that just happens, like in a movie. Two people lock eyes, fall head over heels, and everything feels natural from there. But real love, lasting love, especially in the day-to-day reality of marriage, is not something you feel all the time. It's something you choose. Not once, not twice, but over and over again, even on the days when it's hard, especially on those days. In the beginning, love is effortless. You stay up talking for hours. You text sweet things. You look at each other with sparkle. But time has a way of dulling even the brightest sparkle if we're not careful. Life gets busy. The conversations become practical. The spark gives way to routine. And one day you look across the room and wonder, when was the last time you truly connected? That's where many people give up. Not because the love is gone, but because they forgot that love requires tending. Like a garden, it doesn't bloom on its own. The truth is, every day you wake up next to your spouse, you're making a choice. To love, to stay, to try. It's not about grand romantic gestures. It's about showing up on a random Tuesday when nothing feels particularly special and still choosing to be kind, to listen, to reach for their hand. It's about loving even when you're tired, even when they didn't do the dishes, even when you've had a long day and all you want is space. That's where love becomes sacred, not in perfection, but in persistence. And choosing love doesn't mean ignoring your needs. It means staying present while still speaking truth. It means saying, I feel distant, but I still want us. Instead of pretending nothing's wrong or walking away, it's reminding each other, you're still my person, and I still want to walk this life with you. Some days love feels light and easy. Other days it feels like work. But both are holy. Both matter, because choosing love again and again, that's how you build a marriage that survives not just the good days, but the hard ones too. When you feel lonely, it's easy to believe the love is gone. But maybe it's not gone. Maybe it's waiting to be chosen again. And maybe the act of choosing, of leaning in, of staying soft when you want to shut down, that's the beginning of something new, something deeper, something real. You don't need to feel fireworks every day. You just need to choose to light a small candle. And when both of you make that choice day after day, the room starts to glow again, quietly, steadily, faithfully. You are not alone, and this isn't the end. If you've ever felt lonely in your marriage, you're not weak, you're not failing, you're human. Every relationship goes through seasons. Some feel like spring, full of laughter and light, and others feel like winter where silence stretches and warmth seems far away. But winter is not the end of the story. It's a season. And seasons change when you start to nurture what's beneath the surface. This message wasn't about fixing everything overnight. It was about reminding you that reconnection is possible, even when things feel quiet, even when your heart is tired. Through small steps, through open hearts, through honest presence. You don't need to wait until everything is broken to begin again. You can begin right here, right now, with a whisper of courage and a willingness to try. Love doesn't leave us. It waits for us. It waits in the small gestures, the soft words, the quiet forgiveness, and the everyday choices that say, I'm still here. And so are you. Still here. Still capable of loving and being loved in return. And that, my friend, is more than enough to begin again. Thank you for being here, for giving yourself this moment to reflect and breathe and believe in love again. If this message spoke to something inside you, I hope you'll stay with us on this journey. Subscribe, leave a comment, or just share this with someone who may need to hear it too. You are not alone, and the story of your love is still being written. We'll see you in the next chapter. Until then, keep choosing love. If something in this video touched your heart, please like and subscribe to stay connected. This channel isn't just about giving advice, it's about reminding you that love in all its forms is worth fighting for. Whether you're in love, in doubt, or in the middle of rebuilding something fragile, you're not alone. Share your thoughts in the comments below. We're here with you, and we look forward to seeing you again in the next episode.